Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we are supposed to start from verse number 23, but I'm gonna take you back to verse number 22, especially to this part where it says Wailayhi turjaun, and turjaun is actually the verb is form 1. Raja'a yarjiu is the passive voice of yarjiu, yurjau. So this turjauna comes from yurjau and is on page 152. So you see here huwa yurjau, huma yurjaani, hum yurjauna, hiya turjau, huma turjaani, hunna yurjana, anta turjau, antuma turjaani, antum turjauna. So is actually for antum turjauna. So turjauna, you all will be returned. Alayhim, to him, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I also have some notes on page 30 for the how to make a passive voice. So the passive verb is changed from, so in the 3-letter root verb it can be like fa'ala or fa'ila or faula, but they will all change to fuila. Like if is the rahima, it will change to ruhima. So that is for the past tense. And in our case is like raja, so is like fa'ala, and it will change to rujia. So in the passive voice for the past tense. And in the passive, in the passive verb, the doer, the action of the fail is not specified, and the maf'ul takes its place. That is why is called naibul fa'il. And in the imperfect tense, the passive verb is formed by giving dhamma to the sign of the imperfect tense. So like yarhamu, you have to give dhamma to this harfu mudare, so it changes to dhamma, and then and the fatha to the second letter. So and then the second letter will have fatha, which in this case is already the fatha, so is yarhamu will change to yurhamu. And in our example, raja'a yarjiu, so you see is in our case is raja yarjiu, the form for the active verb, which will change to rujia yurjau. So you say this will be you, and this becomes yurjau. And the thing remember, the only thing to remember here is that in the passive verb the file is not specified, and the maf'ul takes the place of the file. And as you know that in the active tense, active verb, the file is rafa. So in the passive form, because the maf'ul taking the place of the file, so it becomes the deputy, and why it is called the deputy of the subject, it becomes the naibul file. So then the maf'ul is actually taking the haraka of dhamma. That is all explained here. So if I go back to that verb here, turjauna, so is from we have just seen that is coming from antum turjauna, and and you all will be returned. So these are actually maf'ul who gonna be returned. So they are taking the place of the naib file antum, and the doer of the action is not specified, which is in this case is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take them to him. So what is with me that I don't worship the one who created me, and to him you all going to be returned. So that was, I just wanted to explain how that passive works. Okay, so today's verse is 23. Attakhizu min dunihi alihatan in yuridnir rahmanu bizurrin la tugni anni shafa'atuhum shayyan wala yunkizun. So attakhaza is actually, you see here, one is attakhaza and there is one hamza before it, which is called hamza to istifham. That is the particle used for questioning. So do I, attakhaza, I take. So attakhaza, do I take? So attakhaza, how that, from where is coming, what is the verb? So is actually the form 8 verb ittakhaza yattakhizu. And let's go to form 8 on page 44. So form 8 is, you can make form 8 from the 3 root letter verb fa'ala by adding alif in the beginning and ta after the second radical. So it becomes ifta'ala yaftailu. So on this pattern we have the verb ittakhaza, is actually 2 ta here, ittakhaza, but like it's just when you combine it becomes, you don't see the separate like this. So it's like ta and ta, so becomes ittakhaza, and ta they just combine with the shadda, so yattakhizu, ittakhaza yattakhizu. So this is the verb use in that verse. So ittakhaza yattakhizu. So from yattakhizu, how it changes to attakhizu, which is the form for which pronoun this is used. So let's go to that table of ittakhaza yattakhizu on page 153. So huwa ittakhaza, past tense, for the present is yattakhizu. So let's just go through yattakhizu, because this is coming from is the present tense verb is used. So huwa yattakhizu, huma yattakhizani, hum yattakhizuna. It should be yattakhizani yattakhizuna, hiya tattakhizu, huma tattakhizani, hunna yattakhizna, anta tattakhizu, antuma tattakhizani, antum tattakhizuna, anti tattakhizina, antuma tattakhizani, antunna tattakhizna, ana attakhizu, nahnu nattakhizu. So you see here attakhizu, that is the verb form used, so it comes for ana. So is actually attakhizu, so with the question, but this is the verb use, attakhizu. So you see here attakhizu, failun, so failun mudariun marfoon wa lamtu rafihi ad-damma wa failuhu ana. So and is for ana. Do I take? Min is harfu jar from dunihi. Duni is ism majroor, duni jar majroor, ism majroor, and it also becomes mudaf. Wal ha is actually zamirun muttasilun mudaf alayhi. So from beside him, Do I take from beside him? Alihatan. So you see, tan is mansoob after the verb, and there is no outside file, so we using the file that is built inside the verb ana. I have just shown you that this is for ana. So alihatan, deities or gods. So this mansoob means this is maf'ul bihi, this is maf'ul, and maf'uls are mansoob. In is harfu shartin, and I've shown you that on page 49 there are some particles that are used for the conditional sentences, and those particles are in, iza, law, man, mahma, ayyu, lamma, ma, aina. So in, so this is the particle used. So this is where we are in harfu shartin. So in the conditional sentence, like I showed you in the last session, that the conditional sentence has three things actually. One is harfu shart, the particle that creates a conditional sentence, and then is the fe'lu shart, the condition, what is the condition, and then is the jawabu shart. So, and is given on detail is on page 49. And if the harfu shartin is in, then it will make both fe'lu shart, the verb of the condition, majzoom, and the jawabu shart also majzoom. So let's see here in yuridni. So how yuridni, from where this is coming? So yuridni is actually arada yuridu. So yuridu is the fail mudare, because like I said, it has to be majzoom. So fail mudare, you can make majzoom for huwa, hiya, anta, ana, nahnu, those 5, just by changing dhamma to replacing it with sukoon. So if you change to yuridu to yurid, that becomes the fail mudare majzoom. And then, so you see here there are 2 sukoons side by side. So they just combine to just the I is left, so it changes to yurid. And then is the maf'ul bihi is added, ni, me. And like it happened, I think in some previous verse, that the ya is replaced with just a little kasra there. So is actually tugni. Is actually yurid. This is also the same case, but we are here. So is actually yuridni, like this, yuridni, but is just changing to ni, and the kasra sign is left, and this ni is removed. I mean ya is removed, so this is left, yuridni. So failun mudariun majzoomun, so this is majzoom, and is fa'ilu shart because it's coming after the harfu shart. And ya mutakallim, this is the ya mutakallim, this ya is mahzufa, is omitted. Wa zamirun mutasilun maf'ul bihi, and is ni is maf'ul bihi muqaddam. Muqaddam means coming before, because the file is coming after. So the table is on page 169 for arada yuridu. You see here huwa arada past tense, huwa yuridu present tense. So but the verb that we are looking into is coming from here, so no need to go in that further detail, but you can look at how the whole table works for arada yuridu. Okay, going back to the verse. So yuridni, he intends for me. Who intends for me? Ar-Rahmanu. So actually he is the file and is marfu. So if you look at here, Ar-Rahmanu coming after the verb and maful is coming before. Normally the pattern is fail, file and maful, but in this case maful is coming before the file. So this Rahmanu is file because is the in the rafa form and is a noun. The most merciful, file filun marfoon bidammati. So and that means, do I take from beside him gods or deities? If he, the Rahman, the most merciful, intends for me. What he intends for me? Bizurrin. What is bizurrin? Is jarun wa majrun. On page 16 you will see these two words, bi and zurrin. So bi is making the noun majrur and la is harfun nafi. Tugni. Tugni is actually coming from the verb agna yugni. Agna yugni is form 4. Form 4 is on page 40. This verb is formed by prefixing hamza with fatha to the root verb form fala. So afala. I don't have that example here, but this is for on this pattern, afala yufilu. So agna yugni is on the same pattern. Failun mudariun majzumun. So because it's majzoom, because it's jawabu shart. So like I said, for in, if the shart and jawabu shart coming for where the particle harfu shart is in, then both will be majzoom. So this is majzoom, and the because this is the weak letter, the ya is called a weak letter. So it's made majzoom by just removing the weak letter, which is called harfu illa, weak letter. So and you see here there is no weak letter here. Yugni is changes to yugni. Bi hasfi harfi illa, by omitting the weak letter, and is jawabu shart and is jaziman is majzoom form. So and the detail, the verb formation is on page 154. You see here, agna yugni. In our case is not yugni, is tugni. So let's see how tugni from where it's coming. Huwa yugni, huma yugniyani, hum yugnuna, hiya tugni. And you know that for hiya or anta the verb form is same, but how the sentence will tell you if it's for hiya or anta. Let's go back and find out. So why this tugni is for hiya use? Because the file is shafaat and is feminine. So that is why there is no huwa variant use, hiya variant use, because the file is feminine, and that little ta marbuta, that is showing that is a feminine word, shafaat. So, and before that is anni is jarun wa majrurun. For me, an plus ni, two things. So shafa'atu is marfu coming after the verb. So this is file marfu bidamma wa huwa mudaf and is becoming mudaf, intercession of them or their intercession, and hum is zamirun muttasilun mudaf alayh. We have gone through it many times. Mudaf alayh, you can always review, go back to page 14. And there is a maf'ul also. So shayyan is maf'ul bihi mansubun bil fatati. So this fata shows you that this is a maf'ul of anything. Wala and waw harfu atfin, la harfu nafi. Yunkazuni. So this is the verb yunkazuni. So yunkazuni is actually, the verb is ankaza yunkizu, again form 4 on page 40. So again, why this is yunkazuni, because this is also part of jawabu shart. So this is jawabu shart, and jawabu shart has two parts because it's separated by waw. So yunkazuni is also part of jawabu shart, so it has to be majzoom, fe'lun mudari'un majzoomun, jawabu shart. So let's first see where in the table yunkazuni, where it falls. So on page 155, so you see here ankaza yunkizu, huwa yunkizu, huma yunkizani, hum yunkizuna. So is yunkizuna. Let's go back. So is yunkizuna. So is actually yunkizuna, and plus ni is maf'ul bihi. So but yunkizuna, noon is removed. And why noon is removed? Because is fail mudari majzoom. So if we go to page 35, how we can make a fail mudari majzoom. So the fail mudari majzoom, I have here the detail. You can make it majzoom by just putting replacing the dhamma of the third person singular masculine, I mean huwa, replacing dhamma with the sukoon of the third person feminine hiya, and the second person masculine anta, they replace u with sukoon jazam, and first person singular means ana, so af'alu will change to af'al, and the plural naf'alu will change to naf'al. So out of those 14 pronouns, 5 will you can make a majzoom by just replacing u for yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alu, af'alu, naf'alu, by just replacing the u with majzoom by sukoon. And for all other forms, noon is dropped except for hunna and antunna, taf'alna or yaf'alna. So those two don't change, and everything just noon is dropped. And in our case, it was I mean, if our verb is yunkizuna, and I just showed you yunkizuna is coming for whom. if I showed you again 155. So yunkizuna is karhum. So what I was explaining, that if this is the verb, you have to make, this is the regular form, failun mudarin, marfu, this is the marfu. So and fail mudare you can change, has three moods: marfu, mansoob and majzoom. Here we have to use majzoom because this is jawab shart. So and you can make majzoom this huwa, hiya, anta, ana and nahnu. You can make them majzoom by just replacing the dhamma sign with the sukoon, right? And for all others, you just remove noon, except these two, hunna and antunna. They won't change. Rest the noon is removed. So in this case, in other words, yunkizuna, if you wanna make that majzoom, you have to remove noon. So yunkizu, that is why is used, yunkizu is used there, because it's the majzoom form of the fail mudare. And then you see here yunkizu plus ni, yunkizu ni. Ni is mahzoof and is maf'ul bihi, just like I showed you for yuridni. Yunkizuni is actually ni, the ya is removed and the little sign is left to indicate that something was omitted. So it's the same explanation for this as this one. Yunkizuni means the meaning is me, rescue me. Ankaza yunkizu, to rescue. So it's yunkizuna, they, whom they rescue, and then ni, me, they rescue me. So the simple translation of this verse would be attakizu, do I take, min dunihi, beside them, beside him. Him goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is what the guy who came from far away of the city, he was saying that what is the reason, what is wrong with me that I don't worship the one who created me, and to him you all have to be returned, so why I don't worship him? And he is further saying that, do I take beside him gods or deities? And he then saying, if the most merciful wants, intends or wants for me bizurrin, with any hardship or any affliction or harm, if he wants to give me or any harm, any affliction, la tugni, nothing will avail, anni, for me, shafa'atuhum, any intercession, their intercession. I mean, why should I take them? Why should I worship these deities or gods if God is gonna give me any harm, if he intends to give me any affliction? These gods, their intercession will not avail me anything. They will not avail me. Their intercession will not help me of anything. Shayyan, anything. Their help will of no use. They cannot offer me any help here. Wala yunkizuni, and rescue me. They cannot rescue me. So I have here the translation, do I take other gods beside him, whose intercession would not avail anything to me, nor they could rescue me if the most merciful intends to harm me. In the plain words, this is the translation. Long verse, but hope is clear. And next verse is number 24. Inni izan lafi zalalin mubinin. So inni, inna plus ni, inni. Sorry, inna plus ya here. Inni, inna is harfu tawkidin wa nasbin, and ya is ismu inna. Ya is for attached pronoun for ana. So is on page 20. You can see the detail. Izan is harfu jawab. Lafi, lamul, you can say lamu lit tawkidi. The another word is muzlahak. So lamu lit tawkidi wa fi harfu jarin. So surely harfu jar, surely fi means in. Zalalin, so fi is harfu jar, lam is lamu tawkid, so zalalin, fi zalalin jarun wa majrurun, and this fi zalalin is acting as a khabar for inna. Inna, if you go back and read that in Jumla Ismiya, if it starts from inna, we don't say call it mubtada khabar, we call it ismu inna and khabaru inna, which makes a complete sentence. And mubinin is the naat for zalalin. So you see here zalalin mubinin, singular, masculine, nakira, no al here, nakira, and the sign is kasra, so is following all those four properties. Mubin following its manut, the naat is following its manut in all those four situations. So this is the simple verse. Indeed I is the ya attached pronoun, zamirun muttasilun, wal ya here, so you can say is zamirun muttasilun, ismu inna. So is the attached pronoun for ana and is coming as a ismu inna. So indeed I is an, in that case, I mean if he does that, if he takes other gods beside him, if he does that, then what? Then in that case, lafi, surely in, he is in, surely is in zalalin mubinin, in a clear error. So in that case, he is surely in a clear error. I mean, he's saying it's going to be a grave mistake if he does that. Verse number 25, inni again, same, indeed I, same, waliya, you can say ya is zamirun muttasilun and is coming as a ismu inna. Indeed I, so he is actually debating with those guys, with the ashabul qaryati, who were giving tough times to the messenger. So there were already 3 messengers. He came to assist them or to support them further. So he said, indeed I, he's telling now the messengers, indeed I, amantu. The verb is amana yuminu. So, and is amantu comes from the fe'lun madin. So let's see how we can find amantu from the table, in the table of amana yuminu, and which pronoun is used. So it's on page 121, and amana yuminu is form 4, is on page 40, the detail of form 4. So if we go to page 121, so you see here huwa amana. So let's go through the table for amana, past tense. Huwa amana, huma amana. So this amana, this is that if you combine these two, hamza and alif, it becomes long alif, amana. So you see here, this sign is for, that is why we make it a bit longer, because there are actually two things, Hamza and Alif. So amana, 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 amanu, amanat, amanata, amanna, amanta, amanta for anta, amantuma, amantum for anti, amanti, amantuma, amantunna for antunna, and for ana, amantu, nahnu, amanna. So this is the verb form used, amantu, and is for ana. So is on this page, yeah. Amantu, I believed. Pelu madin, I believed. So and the file is what? Ana. Okay, so the doer is the guy who came from the far away from the city. So he's saying that he's telling messengers that I have believed, I believed, past tense. So I showed you from where amantu is coming from, the table of amana yuminu. Birabbikum, b is harf jar. So Rabbi is actually Rabbun, but is Rabbi, so it's because of B harf of jar. So B Rabbi is Jarun wa Majrurun, and then Rabbi also becomes Mudaf, and Kum is Mudaf alayhi. So Lord of yours or your Lord. So this is the possessive phrase that is on page 14, and Kum is Zamirun Mutasilun and is Mudaf alayhi, you all, and your Lord. He's telling the messenger that in your Lord I have believed. Fasma'uni. So al-fa'u is then, its fa is used and the meaning is then or so. Al-fa'u atifatu was isma'uni is coming from the verb Samiya Yasma'u, form 1, 3 root letters. So Yasma'u with antum it will change to tasma'una, and then so when you make it tasma'una fe'lu amrin, it becomes isma'u. Let's go through that. So first let me show you the table of Samiya Yasma'u, page 156. So you see here Samiya Yasma'u, huwa Yasma'u, huma Yasma'ani, hum Yasma'una, hiya Tasma'u, huma Tasma'ani, hunna Yasma'na, anta Tasma'u, antuma Tasma'ani, antum Tasma'una. You see here Tasma'una, and okay, you just remember this Tasma'una. Tasma'una. So Tasma'una fe'lu amrin. How we can make fe'lu amrin. Page 26. Direct command verb, fe'lu amrin. So remember the verb, our verb Samiya Yasma'u. Here the verb is, the example given is for dakhala yadkhulu, but our is Yasma'u. So first is you have to take the 6 pronouns for the second person, anta, antama, antum, anti, antama, antunna. So anta tasmau, antuma tasmaani, antum tasmauna. Our word is tasmauna, so let's stick to this tasmauna. So what we have to do, first thing is remove ta. So tasmauna, you see here tasmauna, this scene with the jazm, you can't pronunciate it. So what you have to do, if it's the jazm schoon here, then you have to add hamza, and then what the sound of the hamza gonna be, the middle letter. So samia, the middle letter is e. So if it's e or a, then alif will take e. So this is what is explained here. In this example is u, because the middle letter is yadkhulu. So in our case samia yasmau, so if it's the fatha, then it will be in that case, this is explained here. So hamzatul wasl for pronunciation, if the second radical has a fatha or kasra, then hamzatul wasl will get a kasra. So in our case yasmau, second radical is ma has a fatha, so then the alif, then hamzatul wasl or alif will get kasra there. Otherwise if it's dhamma, then we'll take the dhamma. So in other words, yasmauna will change to ismauna, and then the last step you have to remove the ta. So ismau, you see here, for in our case is ismau. So if we go back, so you see here tasmauna will change to tasmauna is the fail mudare, but in failu amrin it will change to ismau. I just show you how that will happen. So it becomes failu amrin, listen, ni, listen to me. So ismau is failu amrin, and ni is again the same. I think this has happened 3-4 times. This is probably the style in this surah. So ni is actually ni, otherwise is ismauna, but so is actually ismauna plus ni. So this is yeah, if I do that, so is ni. Okay, so ismau is failu amrin, and ni is maf'ul bihi. So and is mahzuf, and this little sign, this little kasra sign that tells us that something was omitted from here. So isma'uni means listen to me. So listen to me. So he is telling the messengers, listen to me, whatever they are saying. I believed in your Lord. So let's do this verse also, verse number 26, because linked to the same incident. Qila dkhulil I think, did I do the translation? Yeah. So indeed I believed in your Lord, so listen to me or be witness to that. He's trying to tell them that you guys are witness that I believed in your Lord. So what happened? They stoned him to death, which is not mentioned here, but this is in the tafsir it comes that he was stoned to death, and then this verse, then this came. Kila, then this happened. Kila, so kala yakulu, this is the active form, 3 letter form 1. Kala in the passive form, kala changes to kila, yakulu changes to yukalu. So kila is the past tense fi'l madin and is majhul means passive. So he was told after this udkhul. So dakhala yadkhulu, again in that page 26 I have the same example given. So fi'lu amrin for yadkhulu. So you see yadkhulu for anta is tadkhulu, tadkhulani, tadkhuluna, tadkhulina, tadkhulani, tadkhulna. How that changes to udkhul. So first you remove ta and then it will come like this. So you can't pronunciate it. So then you have to add alif and the alif will get this sound. So it will become udkhul. This is what you see here. Udkhulu, and then in the last step it will change to udkhul. Udkhul. So he was told udkhul, enter. So udkhul is fi'lu amrin, al jannata, that is mansoob, so is coming after the fail, so is maf'ul bihi mansoobun. Enter the paradise. Kala, so I mean after his death he was told you enter the paradise. Kala, he said. Kala yakulu, fi'lu madin, that has come many times. So is on page 137 the complete table for kala. Ya laita, so ya is harfu tanbih. O laita is the sister of inna, min ikhwatu inna. So the inna and its sisters behave the same way. So just like ismu inna and khabru inna, we gonna find here ismu laita and khabru laita. So the inna and its sisters are on page 18. So you see here inna, anna, ka anna, bi anna, laita, lakinna, la Allah. So this is laita here. This is what used in that verse. So he said ya laita, oh I wish, that he wished. Qaumi, so it's actually qaumun plus ya. So qaumun is ismu laita and ya is zamirun muttasilun, mudaf alayhi. So qaumi, my nation or nation of mine, so is mudaf alayhi. Ya'lamun, so ya'lamun is comes from verb alima ya'lamu, 3-letter form 1. So ya'lamuna, let's look at the table for alima ya'lamu. Okay, alima ya'lamu, huwa ya'lamu, huma ya'lamani, hum ya'lamuna. So ya'lamuna comes for hum. So they know. So whom they, that is why ya'lamuna means they know. Fi'lun mudariun marfuun, khabru laita. So this is the ismu laita, qaumi, and this is khabru laita. They know. And the file is whom. That they know. He wished that, because nobody knows what happened to him, only we coming to know through the verse that this is what has happened. So he just, when that incident happened, he wished that perhaps they would have known about it, so that to make them understand that whatever he was saying was correct. So the simple translation is Kila, he was told, Udkhulil Jannata, enter the paradise. Kala, he said, Ya Laita, oh my woe, or oh I wish, Kaumi Yalamun, my nation would have known about that. I wish my people know about that. No. So that completes the verse 26. I'm gonna start from verse number 27 from in the next session. So I'm stopping here now.